Which sports bettor would you rather be? A, the guy who wins more games, or B, the guy who wins more money, right? This is a question that doesn't take a lot of consideration and deep thought. I think everybody, or at least 99% of people, would rather be the guy who makes more money, right? Would you rather make $20,000 a month, but you win 80% of your games? Or would you rather make $200,000 a month, but you only win 58% of your games? It's not a difficult question. Everybody wants to make more money. If you want to make more money betting sports, you need to go into sports betting and you need to attack sports betting with a plan. And you need to stick with that plan. That is the only way you're going to win long term. Everybody knows the guy who says, man, soon I'm gonna get in shape. Don't worry, one day I'm gonna get in shape. Soon I'm gonna start exercising. Just watch, right? And then you see that guy 6 months later, same shape he was in 6 months before, maybe even worse. On the other hand, maybe you know someone who said, you know what? I need to lose some fat. I need to get stronger. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat this for breakfast every single day. I'm gonna eat this for lunch every single day. I'm gonna eat this for dinner every single day. I'm gonna go to the gym at this time. I'm gonna do this cardio on these days of the week. I'm gonna train a certain way. I'm gonna go to sleep at a certain time. And that person tends to get the results that they're looking for way more than the other person that just says, I'm gonna do this one day, and they don't have a plan, right? Having a plan of attack and sticking with it is imperative, not just in business, not just in investing, but especially in sports betting. If you do not have a specifically outlined plan and you're not able to stick with it, you're not gonna win in sports betting, okay? So today, actually, I went and placed some cash bets on some of our plays today. I had 5 personal plays today. I started at 4 o'clock. It was my first time placing cash bets actually in a while. It might have been my first time placing cash physical bets at the retail location in 4 months because I'm banned from the 2 sports books that are closest to me and I haven't been to Vegas and whatever. So it was my first time in a while. So I made some money today betting on my plays. Made some money online, made some money cash, right? I love betting cash. It's always fun. But I went into the sports book today with a plan and I stuck with that plan and that's why I won. It's not always easy to stick to the plan that you make for yourself, especially in sports betting, especially when there are so many temptations and there's so many options for parlays and you're feeling good and you think everything's gonna go your way. I know it's not always easy to stick to the plan, but if you want to actually make money betting sports, you have to stick to the plan. I remember in the beginning of 2022, I was sitting in a sports book in a casino. I was crushing college basketball. I was crushing MLB baseball. I was on fire. In early 2022, college basketball was absolutely insane for my clients and I. And we were just coming off the end of college basketball season and baseball was here. And I had started off the baseball season fairly well and I know a lot about baseball and I've been gambling baseball for a while. So I had about $35,000 in my backpack with me at the casino. I did not have a plan. I had $35,000 that I had made from the previous 4 or 5 trips to this casino, slamming college basketball and crushing it, having an outlined game plan of what I was going to bet at noon, what I was going to bet at 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock for every Saturday in college basketball. And that's how I made all this cash. And so now I'm sitting there on a MLB baseball Saturday with no college basketball on. And all I knew was one play that I was betting. I knew I was betting on the Toronto Blue Jays. That was it. I didn't have a plan of anything else. So what happens? Toronto Blue Jays start at 1 p.m. I go place my bet. They lose. With no outlined plan, I'm like, all right, let me handicap these other games. Let's see what we could do on these other games, right? Number 1, chasing. So I start betting these other games. Some games are winning, some games are losing. And I'm adjusting what I'm betting off the results of what's happening in the games. No. Obviously, major red flag. If you follow any of my content, if you've listened to me speak about sports betting before, you do not chase your losses. You do not bet a play that you weren't going to originally bet because you're winning or losing. That's what I started doing on this day because I had so much cash in my hands at the sports book and I had so much confidence from just winning, making so much money that I'm like, I'm not leaving here a loser. I'm taking this 35 grand, turning it into 50, 60, 70, and then I'm going home a winner. Without a plan of attack, I sat in that sports book and lost $35,000 all in one Saturday. It was horrible. That Saturday in 2022, I promised myself I was never going to walk into a sports book again without a specific plan of attack and stay true to that specific plan of attack. Since that date, I have obviously recuperated that $35,000 plus multiple six-figure profits, not only just from casinos all over, but that specific casino and that specific sportsbook, which I'm now banned from. I got all that money back because, and it took me a while, it took me multiple trips. I got that money back because every single time I walked in there, I sat down and I remembered exactly what it felt like having all this $35,000 in front of me and losing it all, going home with fucking nothing. And I remember what it felt like not having a plan. It felt good, right? You feel loose, you feel confident, you feel like you could do whatever. And the results of not having a plan is not feeling loose. It is feeling beside yourself. You can't believe, you're so frustrated, you're so angry, you're so pissed off at yourself for not having a plan, not sticking to the plan that you should have had, not being disciplined. When you don't have a plan, it's easy for everything to go out the window. Have a plan when you're attacking sports betting. Since that day, I've never walked into another sports book without a specific game plan in mind. I've stuck to the plan every single time I've walked into a sports book since there. That's why I'm here making this video for you guys, because I am an extremely profitable sports bettor. I would rather be a profitable sports bettor over a winning sports bettor every single day of the week. And so while some people can win more games than they lose, even fewer people can make more money than they lose. Winning at 55, 60, 65%, but losing money because you don't have a game plan, you can't stick to a game plan, and you don't have the bankroll management and discipline means nothing to you when you're driving home with zero. Who cares if you won more games than someone else or than your previous whatever, than your previous record if you lost money? It doesn't matter. And you don't care about it in your mind. You don't care at all what the record was. You lost money. You're upset. Every time I walk into a sports book and I have a game plan in my head and I stick to it, I make money long term. It's what I've done since that day. And it's funny because going into that day, the previous months before that, I've always had a game plan and I stuck to it. College basketball was over. I felt a sense of relief because college basketball was a lot of work, but it was also very profitable. I walked in on an MLB Saturday, baseball Saturday, and thought I could do whatever I wanted and was going to win. And I got a reality check. No game plan, no profit. Simple as that. Went home with zero. So when I walked into the sports book today to place my bets, I had a game plan written down, picture of it on my phone. I was not going to let myself mess up ever again after that day, and I haven't. And that's, like I just said, that's why I'm here making this video for you guys, because I've made a lot of money sticking to a game plan. And if you guys want to make a lot of money betting sports, you have to have a plan. You have to know how many units are you going to allow yourself to risk at most any single given day. You have to know what percentage of your bankroll are you going to use as a unit. You have to know what sports books are you going to bet on. Are you going to limit yourself to 1, 2, 3, or are you going to open up as many accounts as you can to find as much value as you can? You have to know, am I beating the closing lines? Am I finding value? Am I betting a game where I bet it at minus 140 like I did today, and then when the game closes right before first pitch, the line isn't minus 140 anymore, it's minus 152, 155. You have to know if you're finding value. You have to know a lot of things, and you have to stick with them, and you have to be consistent. If you have a plan, if you can stick to the plan, if you can be consistent and disciplined over a long enough period of time, guys, you too can be profitable betting sports. It's not going to happen to everybody because most people simply just cannot make a good plan and stick to it. I'm going to be honest. Most of you guys watching this don't have the discipline, especially if you guys are betting your own games. I mean, it's crazy. I have clients who have been on my plays for weeks and weeks or months and months, or most of my clients that have been on with me for more than a year, they don't mess up like this anymore. But I've had clients that have been with me for weeks or months, and every once in a while, they still mess up. They don't have the discipline. They end up doing parlays. They end up over betting. They end up doing something stupid when I give them a slate of games. Like today, we go 3-2. Everybody made money. But there have been days like today in the past where clients have said, Jay, I messed up. I parlayed them all. I parlayed these two. I bet more on this one. I didn't follow everything you said to do, and I lost. It's hard enough to win and profit sports betting on your own. It's a lot easier when you're getting my plays. Even when you're getting my plays, people still mess up. So I understand how hard it is to stay disciplined. I've been there. You guys know I've been there. I've done that. For years, since I was 14, I've been learning and growing in this industry. I know how hard it is to actually truly stay disciplined. But I promise you guys, once you make that change and you don't ever let yourself deviate from it, you are going to do what you want, which is make more money. You don't want to win more games. Nobody cares about winning more games. Everybody cares about making more money. If you want to make more money, you have to have a plan and you have to stick to it.